Today we are focusing on requests made by Governor Kevin Stitt in Monday's State of the State. Why is that so important? Because as we've seen, when the governor asks for something in his yearly address, he often gets it. Just look at last year. Governor Stitt asked for $4 billion in the state savings account. There's now more than that. He called for an income tax cut. Now, the governor wanted 0.5%. He got 1/4. He wanted to eliminate virtual school days. A new law takes effect next school year. A school cell phone ban. That definitely happened, and they're now working to make it permanent. And finally, the state Supreme Court ruled them unconstitutional, but lawmakers did pass his request for business courts. Now, this year, marijuana is not the only thing Governor Stitt wants voters to reconsider. He also wants a new vote on Medicaid expansion. You may remember that. Oklahomans voted to make more families eligible for Medicaid in 2020. The federal government pays 90% of the cost. The state is then required to cover the remaining 10%. In the governor's Monday address, he called on lawmakers to send that question back to voters, saying he would like to be able to adjust who is eligible to protect it, he says, from people that should be working. House Democrats are not happy about it.
The impact of Medicaid cuts, should he get what he wants by putting a state question on the ballot and undoing Medicaid expansion, nearly 300,000 Oklahomans will lose their health insurance. And understand that 49% of those who receive Medicaid in this expansion population are children.
Cindy Munson, by the way, running for governor as a Democrat. But Governor Stitt says the math is not on our side here, that at its current rate, in 10 years, Medicaid will eat up 37% of the state's annual budget. The governor also called for the end of the OSSAA in Monday's address, the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association. And already we have a bill. State Senator Casey Murdoch filed Senate Bill 1890 this week, which would replace the association with a new entity. KOCO's Patrick Talbot spoke with Murdoch and an OSSA board member about what could be a major shift for high school sports.
You'll see a lot of legislation filed up here, a solution looking for a problem. This is a problem that scopes a lot of different issues for different people.
State Senator Casey Murdoch filing a new bill in the Oklahoma Senate that would create a new entity that would oversee school sports and other secondary activities in the state of Oklahoma. That in turn would eliminate the OSSAA, a private nonprofit organization that has been organizing competition between schools in Oklahoma since 1911.
They're a private organization. There is no accountability for them, for the legislature. So if they're going off the tracks, if they're doing something wrong, we can't address it.
I know that the OSSA is not perfect, but we are working hard on that organization to give opportunities for our students.
Senate Bill 1890 establishes the Oklahoma Athletics and Activities Commission. The commission would seat 6 public school administrators or athletic directors, 6 public school parents, and 6 private school parents, split 3 each from larger and smaller districts. That commission would create competition rules, determine eligibility for student athletes, create schedules for teams, and other things that the OSSAA already does. 482 schools belong to the OSSAA, and each of them has a voice when it comes to issues.
It's a membership-driven organization. You know, every school has a voting member, has a vote, and all of our rules and policies go out to the membership. We gauge support and we implement the policies.
One big issue lawmakers have with the OSSAA, the open transfer for high school students.
But if they want to excel in athletics, their opportunity may be blocked by an unelected and unaccountable high school sports association, the OSSAA.
The OSSAA pushing back on that narrative.
I was told, and I believe I'm accurate on this, 93 or 94% of all transfers were approved this past year. We've certainly become much more student-friendly in the recent 5 years as far as establishing eligibility and a one-time transfer.
The OSSAA releasing a statement on Monday in which they say that all 482 schools voluntarily joined the association, and they welcome the opportunity to visit with the governor to better explain their association and what it does.
That was Patrick Talbot reporting, who joins us here on Oklahoma Chronicle. Thanks for that reporting. We appreciate it, Patrick. I think
course.
right away, you just noticed the difference in the numbers, right? Because the OSSAA, and I had to learn this, it is a large voting organization. So
That's absolutely correct.
Every school has a vote?
Every school has a member, and every school has a vote when it comes to deciding issues that the OSSAA decides they need to address.
And so obviously this new entity that Senator Murdoch has in this bill, that would be much smaller, and it would be appointed by the governor and then the leader of the House and the Senate, correct?
That's absolutely correct. It would go down to 18 people instead of the 482 that exist in the OSSAA right now.
You know, the governor said in his address, he said that the OSSAA, unelected, unaccountable.
Yep.
How are members of the OSSAA selected?
So board members are elected by their peers and other school teachers, athletic directors, and things like that. The board members are elected by that. Members as far as who represents what school, that's up to the school.
Okay.
Athletic directors can be it, basketball coaches, administrators can be their school's representative.
But in this new one, at least as I understand it, in the new entity that the senator is proposing, those would not be elected either, correct? They would be appointed by elected officials.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Okay.
It would be, I think it would be 6 administration officials, athletic directors,
Right.
and then it would be 6 parents of public schools, and then it would be 6 parents of private school
Right, and they
kids.
break it up into
and they
large
would
and
break it up
small
into
and-
exactly. So it's exactly right. They would have to be appointed by those 3 people, and then they would have to be approved.
So talking to Senator Murdoch there, what's the support from his peers right now? Does he have an idea of whether or not this thing might move forward or not?
I mean, you saw it right there in the package when Governor Stitt announced it. It seemed to have a lot of support in the chamber.
Sure.
But, Senator Murdoch, he spoke with me and he said, look, I know this isn't perfect right now, but I'm willing to work with people to figure out what is necessary to get this across the finish line. So I spoke with some lawmakers today, and they're going to get digging into this bill
Right.
to figure out what they need to do.
I mean, very early in the session, if there's one thing that we've figured out covering legislation over the years, it's that, bills can move, they can change. I mean, they could even change numbers sometimes. And a lot of times there'll be multiple bills that all want to do the same thing, and they might end up choosing one or combining into one. So I know a lot still to come with this one. Patrick,
Yep.
thanks for the reporting. Keep it up.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it.